The song's called Bats. that too.
activists, so give them a round of applause just for that, as well as the awesome music. Yeah! So, we would like to just thank you all for being here. How was the march? Did you enjoy marching? Excellent! I cannot wait to see these pictures. This work is so important. Literally, just the visual storytelling that will happen after this event as we tell ourselves and our community how important this is. So thank you so much. We are calling up a few more speakers, and then we'll be closing out this time together. We would like to call up Thomas Joseph II to please come to the stage, representing the Hoopa tribe, as well as our community, activist and awesome guy. Up for Thomas Joseph.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here, standing in solidarity with everybody else, and marching here in Medford. My name is Thomas Joseph, and I carry the stories of my ancestors through the oral teachings of my elders. I'm a descendant of multiple California tribes. My father's people come from the Miwok tribe in Yosemite Valley and the Paiutes that live at the base of Mount Whitney. My mother's people come from the Redwood Forest of Northern California, the Hoopa and the Karuk tribes of the Lower Klamath Basin. I currently live in the lands I have my ancestors that have put the rest there for thousands of years, and today they are walking with us. Millions of indigenous peoples from 500 different tribes, speaking over 100 different languages, called America their home. We were the first to call America our home, each with their own stories of creation, all understanding the importance of respect and dignity. Knowing that respect and dignity of all God's creations is vital for our survival. Understanding that without environmental protection, our very families and communities would reflect the very injustices of our community, of our environment. We have lived in relative peace for thousands of years, knowing respecting people of different faiths and languages was vital for the health and life. Understanding that our differences is what made us stronger, that our differences enrich not only our community, but our environment. When the Spaniards first reached the shorelines of Northern California, our people followed them up the coastline, dancing in celebration, urging them to land. We believe that these new humans would add blessings to our people, and thus also blessing our environment. We didn't say, let's build a wall. We wasn't fearful or scared of what these new people would bring. We didn't postpone their entry until they were vetted. We encouraged them to land. We welcomed them. The indigenous people had a mutual understanding that respect and dignity of life is something that all people share, that all people deserve. Our people have struggled through many years of genocide, but yet we are still here. Here to share our story, so our nation doesn't repeat the past. As first citizens, we have seen the destruction of hate and greed plague our environment, thus witnessing the decay of our communities. It is not like it or not, our communities reflect the very environment that surrounds us. As hate and greed lock up our rivers with dams, so did this nation lock up its citizens. As hate and greed introduced fracking, our environment introduced a drought. We dig up the dead to fuel our industry, and our lives are plagued with cancer. In this seventh generation after colonial contact, I see, I feel, and I hear a reawakening, not just in our tribal communities, but all Americans. An understanding that love trumps hate, that greed needs to be replaced with equity. Our nation still reflects the multi-tribal nations of old, with many different people from different backgrounds and languages finding commonality, restoring beliefs of respect and dignity to all. We understand that we must stand together to fight environmental injustices. The agreement to dismantle the 4 dams of the Lower Klamath River is the biggest dam removal in history, the biggest decolonial movement in history. As a region, we will see great blessings for this environmental justice. As the dismantling of these dams take place, so will the dismantling of white supremacy. As we stand here in solidarity with each other, sticking to our core values of respect and dignity for all, for we all know we are the voice of our region, and we stand here with our differences, we stand united, demanding respect and dignity for all mankind and our environment. We will not remain silenced no longer. We are the strong majority. Jordan Cove Terminal and the LNG pipeline is a direct threat to the health and welfare of our region. This project will become Oregon's biggest polluter and tie our nation deeper into a dying industry that in its essence is built on death. This is not based on, this pipeline and the infrastructure is not based on national security. It's profit only, to be sold to offshore nations that will also burn these fossil fuels into our environment that all humans of this earth share. It is not a job creator, but a job destroyer, destroying ranches, farms, and businesses in its path. We as Americans need to put America first and protect our nation. It may feel like we are fighting an upstream battle to defend our nation from domestic terrorists that have no regards for the future of our country. American citizens that continue to put our nation in crisis and hold on to a fossil fuel industry that not only destroys our lands, but holds us in bondage. True energy dependence does not come from fracking the hell out of our lands. It comes from alternative sources that free us from fossil fuels, that chain us to wars and destruction. We are a resilient people, and if we so choose, we can free ourselves from this bondage and release our shackles. We must move towards putting our country first and taking major steps towards renewable energies. I'm asking all citizens, regardless of party affiliation, to put your country first. Demand a national security strategy towards free from national terrorists, foreign and domestic. Demand separation of oil and state. A strategy that guarantees a sustainable environment for years to come, a healthy environment that our communities may thrive. As we gather here today, I look amongst the crowd and I recall a time in Standing Rock where people of all creeds, faiths, religions from nations across the globe gathered to defend the sacred. We reflect this same image today. We have committed to put aside our differences and unite based on our core values and love for our nation. We are the true patriots. We are the defenders of this country, gathered to protect what we hold sacred. As Native people, we have always found ourselves strongly connected to the land that holds our ancestors, and we feel them guide this work and walk with us. Today, my brothers and sisters, your families have also been laid to rest in these lands, and your ancestors plead with you to be honored and protected. We ask you to walk with us and call upon your ancestors for guidance, and love and protect this land, and commit to generations to come. With this guidance for our community, and guide us with our communities close to our Creator, we will win this upriver battle. Oh. And brother and sisters, since I love you all so dearly, and you guys have committed yourselves to protecting our generations to come, I am going to share with you my sister, Kistiante Joseph. She is 17, member of the Hoopa Valley Youth Council, and she'd like to share a song with us.
Hey, Uncle Mario, Kistiante Joseph Ahoyet. When watch Patricia Joseph Ahoyet would talk Tom Joseph Sr. na in. Natu nukwe sutai nukten sitai hupo shishoni pai unkuru. Hello, my name is Kistiante Joseph. I'm the daughter of Tom and Patty Joseph. I come from the Hoopa Shoshone Paiute Karuk tribes, the Natinukwe nations. And in my culture, our songs are our prayers, and so I'm happy and blessed to share this song with you today. And I hope you take this to heart. That way you can continue this message and pass it on. Thank you.
You're magical. How did you do that? You got it to turn on and you're standing here with me. How did that happen? Will we give it up one more time for Grassroots Sound? Generously making sure you can all hear us. Thank you very much for the support. And thank you for your words, Thomas, and that beautiful song. I would next like to call to the stage Representative Pam Marsh. She represents Phoenix, Talent, Ashland, parts of Medford. Representative Marsh has been working in Salem to help push through the Clean Energy Jobs Bill that would put a decreasing limit on Oregon's climate pollution while reinvesting into regions like ours to help transition to clean energy and prepare for changing climate. And you can sign a petition using your phone. What? We live in the future. It's amazing. All you got to do is text the word sign, S-I-G-N, text the word sign to 971-248-2723. And then you're going to get a text message that tells you what to do. I think you give them their address, and that way they know where to send your petition. So it's coded in for the right place. So that information is you're going to text the word sign to 971-248-2723. That number one last time, 971-248-2723. We are so excited to support this incredibly important work for us locally. Would you please welcome Representative Pam Marsh to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. I just cannot tell you how thrilling it is to be among my climate radicals here in Southern Oregon. I am always talking about you. up in Salem. I am talking about these advocates who inspire and encourage and push and push and push. And I am so happy to see all of you out here as evidence of this movement, which needs all the attention that we can put on it. So I've been in the legislature now for a couple of months, and I want to share with you just a few observations that I've had about how I think we move this climate movement forward. The first thing I want to share with you is that we all have a story. All of you out there has a story about how you came to this work. We heard about it earlier from Claire, who talked about what it's like to be 17 years old. For me, my beginning as a climate radical was really moving to the Green Springs 20 years ago, up in the mountains, 4,500 feet. And the day before Halloween, it started snowing, the first year we were there, and by the next day we had 4 feet of snow. So very quickly, living in the Green Springs, we became attuned to weather patterns. And you know what? It was really easy to predict. We knew that every Labor Day it would rain. We knew that every Memorial Day it would rain. We knew that it would start to get a little cool in August. We knew that the morels would come out in April and they would be gone by Mother's Day. We knew that snow would start in November and it would continue for the next 3 months. It was predictable, it was stable, until all of a sudden, guess what? It wasn't anymore. Over a period of time, first the snow started to taper off, then it stopped raining, except in August when it rained when it had never rained before. We had clear weather on Memorial Day and Labor Day, and the morels are impossible to predict anymore. And then 3 years ago, we had a storm. Overnight, we had cyclonic winds come in. We woke up in the morning, and we had on our property alone 24-inch trees fallen down overnight. That kind of weather is not predictable. It's not stable. It's not what we expect to have. And I understood that climate change was staring me right in the face. I reflected back on words that I'd heard from Al Gore 10 years ago, and for other people who had come in his stead, and all of a sudden my eyes were opened. And once your eyes are opened on this, your story becomes huge. We understand, and all of you know, and we heard from Claire earlier about the impacts of climate change. We know we're on the verge of losing the Arctic during our lifetimes. We know that shellfish in the ocean are increasingly imperiled. We are seeing the international impacts of climate change, and we can connect that because we live in this fertile Rogue Valley with the experiences that we are having right in front of our face. All of you have that story, and you are all the more powerful in telling that story because it's upfront, it's personal, and you can connect it to the big things that are happening in the world. So you have to tell that story. And the second thing I want to say is that unfortunately you have to keep telling that story over and over again. This is not one of those political issues that we're going to resolve overnight. It's not a result of a single vote. It's not one march. It's not one effort to show up. It's really going to have to take a long time. Up in Salem, we are working hard to try to get cap and trade passed. But I have to tell you, it's a little discouraging up there because our advocacy has indeed brought climate change to the fore. But it's probably, you know, for most legislators about the 5th most important issue. But that's not good enough to get what we need. So what we have to do is we have to keep advocating and telling those stories until climate change becomes first the 3rd most important issue, and then finally the first center point issue. And we have to demand the change as a result. This is not an overnight, this is settling in for the long term. And then the 3rd thing I want to note is there are many paths forward for this work. Now we have a president who is doing his very best to bring back fossil fuels. This very week, he put his staff to work looking at our federal monuments, many of which are tremendously imperiled by the prospect of climate change. This is not a president who is working for us. We knew that Obama wasn't doing everything we wanted, but now we've got a president who's going in exactly the opposite direction. So I say we will continue to show up, we will continue to march, but we will also find other paths forward. We address climate change in our own families when we make choices about how we move around the world and how we use energy in our own homes. We make choices in our communities when we show up to committees after committee after committee and we put together climate plans to guard our cities and our towns and our counties. And we make climate change happen when we advocate at the state level. And, you know, in many ways, I think the state level right now may, despite some of the discouragement that I have up there, I think may be the most effective route that we have, because we have the potential within Oregon to really model what a renewable environment can look like. How we actually have an economy that supports people, that feeds our underserved communities, and that leads us all into the future. And we have the opportunity as well to really join with our partner states in California and potentially in Canada to really establish an overriding move toward working to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And that's an opportunity that we are just going to keep pursuing. So we have stories, we have to tell them, we have to show up, we have to keep on, and over time, hand in hand, we will force this issue because we really have no other choice. We've got the 17-year-olds here who are here who spoke earlier. We've got the young people who led the march. We've got older people here. We are united, and that's the work. And I am so grateful to be with all of you and to have the opportunity to speak with you and move forward on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I gotta say, it makes me feel really proud of my community when my representatives actually represent my community's needs, right? That was beautiful. And some good advice about next steps. I think I got some phone calls I'd like to make. So we would like to now transition to some beautiful music, and we'll have a few more speakers and we'll be closing out our time together. This is a local musician, Alice DiMaselli. Yes! Fabulous, beautiful music. Please go to her website. I believe it is her first name and her last name.com. Go to her website and buy some of her CDs. It's beautiful music. She's also, you can see her, she's a staple at most social justice awesome activities here in Southern Oregon, as I've noticed. So please give a loud round of applause for Alice and her musicians.
Thank you. Hey, can you all do me one favor before we sing? Could you take out your phones or take out a piece of paper? Because I want to give you a phone number that I want you to call. This is my personal assignment that I gave to myself, and I'm going to pass it along to you. Every single day until Jordan Cove is no more, we need to call Governor Kate Brown, we need to call Senator Merkley, we need to call Senator Wyden, and we need to call Representative Walden. Walden, it may fall on deaf ears, but the other two, maybe we can make them do it. So that Kate Brown's number is 503-378-4582. 503-378-4582. And I ask you to join me in calling her every single day and telling her that we do not want a pipeline in Southern Oregon. And if she needs to do everything in her power to stop this pipeline. And it's part of the 45 agenda to build this pipeline, and I say no. This is Mikey Stevens, and we'd love for you to sing with us. For me, singing along, singing with folks is really healing, and it's the only thing that gets me through. So the words to this song are, we are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and protect her, because without her, we're nothing at all. And I give kudos to my grandma Aggie for reminding me to be a voice for the voiceless every day of my life. And I hope that you all will join. We are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and protect her, 'cause without her we're nothing at all. I want to hear you. We are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and
without her we're nothing at all. Water is life, this is the truth. Every cell in our bodies is dependent on this life-giving juice. Without her we die, make no mistake. All the money in the world can restore poisoned rivers and lakes. We are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and protect her, 'cause without her we're nothing at all. We are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and protect her, 'cause without her we're nothing at all. We all give our bones back to the earth. It's everybody's destination from the moment of birth. While we still breathe, it's our job to care, to be a voice for the voiceless, earth, water, fire, and air. To be a voice for the voiceless, earth, water, fire, and air. We are the voice of the water. We are the voice of the water. We must stand and protect her, 'cause without her we're nothing at all. I'm here, y'all. Without her, we're nothing at all. We got to stand and protect her, 'cause without her, we're nothing at all. We got to stand and protect her, 'cause without her, we're nothing. We are nothing at all.
Beautiful.
Okay, so who wants to lead the salmon spawning dance?
Not I.
Somebody's got to want to do it. All right, Deborah, you're up. So, you know, like the Lorax speaks for the trees. I'm Alice. I sing for the salmon. And I hope you sing for them too. It's a little chorus you can join me on. That's very simple. Because I figured if the salmon were going to play any kind of music right now, they would be singing the blues.
I'm a wild Chinook salmon, ain't no hatchery child. I'm a wild Chinook salmon, ain't no hatchery child. And when you dam up my river, you cramp my style. When you clear cut the forest, it's like pouring dirt into the middle of my home. Oh, when you clear cut that forest, it's like pouring dirt into the middle of my home. And when you muddy up my bedroom, I ain't got nowhere to spawn up, 'cause I'm a wild Chinook salmon, ain't no hatchery child. Say mine again, let me hear you sing, let me hear you sing. I'm a wild Chinook salmon, ain't no hatchery child. And when you dam up my river, you cramp my style. And when you dam up my river, you cramp my style. I can swim 1,000 miles just to reach the sea. You know I can swim over 1,000 miles just to reach the sea. And then I'll up and turn around one day